If I were moving to Phoenix, Arizona today instead of years ago, I would not choose to live where I do now. Instead, I would make some wildly different choices. Hi, my name is Keegan McDowell and I am a realtor in Phoenix, Arizona, and I have helped so many families, individuals, young couples, retirees, and out-of-state buyers who are relocating to our city of Phoenix find their perfect home here in the Valley. So today I am going to give you my honest perspective and honestly what I've learned in the last couple years of living here in the Valley based on lifestyle, schools, budget, and long-term livability. And by the end of the video, you will see exactly where I would move to in Phoenix, Arizona today if I was in your situation. So let's start where I first moved when I came to Phoenix, Arizona. When I first moved here, I moved from a city in the Midwest called Indianapolis, Indiana. I felt like I was in a neighborhood desert. And what I mean by that is it was 15 minutes to the nearest Target, or if I wanted to get food, it was 10, 12 minutes to the nearest restaurant. I was in the city, but it really took a long time for me to get to the necessary and convenient places of grocery, shopping, entertainment, all that stuff. When we first moved to Goodyear, it was amazing. We had everything we would ever want. We had restaurants, we had grocery, we had Target and Walmart and Costco right near our apartment. We really had everything with either in walking distance or a short 5-minute car ride. So this was a drastic change from what we came to in Indianapolis, and for the first couple months we absolutely loved it. Once we had lived in Goodyear for a while, we realized that maybe didn't have a lot of the character and different things that we saw in other parts of the city. Downtown has its own character. The East Valley has Gilbert and Chandler and some of these different smaller cities within the city of Phoenix. Goodyear just felt like a commercialized area of Phoenix, and although it was a great place to live and it was cheap and we had everything we needed a short distance from our apartment, we wanted to be either one, in the mountains, or two, be in a different part of the city that had a little bit more of an identity or some different character. We wanted to have more access into what Phoenix has to offer in different parts of the city like Scottsdale and the East Valley. So once we moved from Goodyear, we went up north to the northwest corner of Phoenix into Peoria, Arizona. Now, since moving to Peoria, we have absolutely loved it. We are up in the mountains and there's Thunderbird, there's the Sonoran Mountain Preserve, there's all kinds of different hiking and biking trails up here in Peoria, and we absolutely love the location of Peoria. We haven't forfeited being able to go to Target and Chipotle and all those dining and entertainment options, as Peoria has a lot of those at just a short distance from our house. But we do feel like Peoria has a little bit more of character and an identity than Goodyear. We love the outdoor activities that it offers up here in Peoria. We are just a short 15 to 20 minute drive away from Lake Pleasant, which is an awesome lake here in the northwest corner of Phoenix. I would say one of the only cons about living in Peoria so far has been the age demographic. I would say that Peoria is an absolutely great area for young families or those families who have kids who are entrenched in school, sports, extracurricular activities. It's a very family-friendly neighborhood and it's awesome for families. My wife and I, we don't have kids, so I think there has been some points where we long to be around more people our age. You don't see as many 20-somethings living in Peoria who don't have kids and are entrenched in their career and are currently young professionals. And that is exactly why I think if we had to move to Phoenix today in 2025, we would choose an entirely different area in the city of Phoenix. Like I said earlier, I am a realtor in the city of Phoenix, and I actually created a moving to Arizona guide that covers all the different options and neighborhoods that you and your family might be looking for. If you are interested in this guide, feel free to shoot me a text, give me a call, or send me an email and I will send that right over to you. As a married guy in my late 20s, if I were going to move to Phoenix today in 2025, I think the spot that I would move to is a place called Desert Ridge. And the reason that I would choose Desert Ridge is all about location. I absolutely love going up north. You have Flagstaff and Sedona, and the Grand Canyon is north. You have Zion National Park. Anything you want to do outdoor for a weekend trip or a camping trip, you're going to go up north. You're going to escape the valley. You're going to escape the heat, go up to elevation and cool off a little bit. Being in Desert Ridge pretty much offers a direct line north by I-17, which just goes straight from Phoenix up north to the northern cities. But also being in Desert Ridge, you would be able to have access to all the amenities and the lifestyle of Scottsdale. You are just 4 to 5 minutes west of North Scottsdale, which has the Cure Deerland Commons, it has the Scottsdale Quarter, and North Scottsdale has some of the best golf courses in all of Phoenix and really the entire country. As a golf lover myself, I love having access to those courses while also not giving away the access to different courses in the West Valley as well. So being in Desert Ridge, you're kind of central and you're north of the city and you're right off the 101, which just gives you access to the entire valley. My wife and I love doing all sorts of things. We love hiking in the West Valley. We love going to the White Tank National Park and some of the mountains in the northern part of the Phoenix Metro. But we also like visiting Scottsdale. We like going out to eat and doing different things that Scottsdale has to offer. We love the walkability of Scottsdale. It has some of the best paths and hiking options, different hikes, and being able to take our dog out, as well as being able to walk through some of the different communities that Scottsdale has, being able to stop into local cafes and some different local coffee shops that we love going to on Saturdays. In my opinion, Desert Ridge would be the perfect location for what I need and what I would want, being in my late 20s and being married with no children. But I know that not everybody is in my position. You know, you have singles, you have young families with kids, you have retirees who are getting to the age where they want to relax and kind of take a step back from all the hard work they've done up until this point in their life. So I'm going to go through every single age group and where I see fit as the best spots to move to in Phoenix in 2025 for all the different demographics. So if I were a young single person moving to Phoenix in 2025, you have no ties to the city, you maybe have gotten a job out here, and you know nobody coming in, so you want to build a social life. In my opinion, the best place to move in Phoenix for that type of demographic is going to be Old Town Scottsdale. Yes, it's a little pricey and you might need to find a roommate or get a studio, but in my opinion, there is no better place to build a social life than Old Town Scottsdale. It's walkable, the nightlife is great, there's a ton of young people in Old Town Scottsdale, and if you throw yourself into that community, you'll be able to build friendships and kind of grow your network in no time over there in Old Town Scottsdale. Being in Old Town is in an extremely good location. You're right off the 101, which gives you access to pretty much the entire valley. You're about 10 to 15 minutes away from downtown Phoenix if you have that commute to work. And you also have access to the East Valley within 15 to 20 minutes, as there are a ton of jobs, especially in the tech industry down in the East Valley. So as a young professional, location is going to be huge being in Old Town Scottsdale. And just the experience of living there and all the access you have to different amenities, different gyms, the nightlife in Old Town Scottsdale, the different bars and restaurants, and the shopping that you have. It's just a great experience for young professionals, for young single people who have a ton of time on their hands. Old Town Scottsdale really has everything you need as a young person living in the city. But if you are someone who has kids at home, this is the stage and the chapter of life where lifestyle really matters. I actually made a full-length video of the top neighborhoods in the West Valley, and that's for good reason. These neighborhoods that I covered are not just about the homes, but really about the community. I think some of the best neighborhoods for families with young kids or even kids going through middle school and high school are going to be in the West Valley. There are so many master plan communities in the West Valley that are built for families just like yours. The school systems are great and there is so much to do for families out in the West Valley. Phoenix and its suburbs are really well known for its master plan communities. You have the East Valley with Mesa and Gilbert and Chandler, and now Queen Creek growing really fast. There are a couple master plan communities in the West Valley that may not be as well known. Two of my absolute favorite options for young families in the West Valley are going to be Verado and Vistancia. Verado is a master plan small town community that is about 40 minutes west of the city of Phoenix in the city of Buckeye. In Verado, it feels like it is a small town with a Main Street district and everything kind of happening around the city center with different community events, community gatherings, and a downtown street with a bunch of small boutique retail stores and local coffee shops. Verado is one of my favorite communities in the entire valley. When you drive in, it feels like you are in a separate small town completely away from the big city of Phoenix. There are tree-lined streets and the whole town is pretty much walkable and extremely golf cart accessible. You will see people driving in their golf carts, walking their dogs, and just being friendly neighbors at all times in the community of Verado. It is backed up to the White Tank Mountains and offers some of the best views in the entire valley of Phoenix. It is honestly one of the most well thought out and best communities in the entire Phoenix Valley. The school system in Verado is highly rated and it has its own high school right in the community. Being this far out, you do not have to forfeit going to different stores like Costco or Target, as these are all less than 10 minutes away in the city of Buckeye. Moving into Verado, you are instantly entrenched into a tight-knit community. There are different events for holidays like Easter egg hunts or fireworks for the 4th of July that are constantly happening in the community. And if you are someone with older parents that you want to live by, there is a 55 plus community in Verado called Victory at Verado right in the community. You will never have to worry about your kids in Verado, as it is one of the safest communities in all of Arizona. And now to the next community that I refer to is Vistancia, which is also about 45 minutes from downtown Phoenix, but it is in the northwest corner of the valley. Vistancia is one of the fastest growing communities in all of Phoenix, as they are building hundreds of homes as we speak. Vistancia is growing faster and faster and faster, especially with new developments up in the northwest corner of Phoenix, like the TSMC plant and the different commercial developments that are popping up rapidly with the growth of the West Valley. Vistancia offers some breathtaking views as it sits at the base of the mountains and has communities for whatever your family might need. If you are looking for a community that you can get into for a reasonable price point for you and your family that will continue to grow in value, then Vistancia is the right community for you. Like Verado, there are a lot of community pools and different community centers in the town of Vistancia. It has its own shopping and grocery options and has easy access to the 303 highway, which loops around the West Valley. Similar to Verado, Vistancia is an extremely safe neighborhood that is a little bit excluded from the other neighborhoods in Phoenix. So if I were a young parent moving to the city of Phoenix right now in 2025, my number one choice would be Gilbert, Arizona. Gilbert is a master plan community in the East Valley, which is pretty far southeast of the city of Phoenix. It's about 35 minutes from downtown Phoenix and a little bit less than 30 minutes from the Phoenix Sky Harbor Airport. The reason I would choose Gilbert is because it is unlike any of the other neighborhoods here in the valley. It has its own downtown and is just an extremely tight-knit community. Gilbert offers some of the best public school systems in the entire valley and is rated an A+ by niche.com. Gilbert is extremely safe and has a great vibe and is extremely welcoming to families. There is so much to do in Gilbert, and it's pretty much like its own small town, all while still having access to the great things that a big city like Phoenix has to offer. In Gilbert, you have extremely easy access to downtown, to Scottsdale, and to the entire East Valley, where there are a ton of tech jobs. If you are a young professional with a family at home, Gilbert is going to be one of the best locations for you and your career. There are constantly community events happening in Gilbert, and the homes in Gilbert aren't like what you normally see in the rest of Phoenix Valley. Gilbert is a little bit more on the pricey end of things, so if you are looking for a more of a budget option, there are a couple neighborhoods that I'll go over in the West Valley that can give you a little bit more bang for your buck. So let's fast forward. Let's say your kids are out of the house and you're planning your next stage of life as an empty nester here in Phoenix. I'm going to cover my 4 favorite 55 plus communities here in the valley and break them down by category. So to start off, I want to address those of you who are active and want to stay active later into your life. The most active 55 plus community has to go to Pebble Creek. Pebble Creek has 2 golf courses inside the gated community and has the most pickleball courts of any 55 plus community in the entire valley. They have multiple pools and community centers and workout facilities, and activity is really one of the staples of this community. If you go visit Pebble Creek at any time, you will see many people outside walking dogs, on a walk with their friends, on a jog, or even playing pickleball or tennis. And not to mention, there are constantly people playing golf on the 2 championship golf courses in Pebble Creek. There are over 100 community groups in Pebble Creek, and they are all ran by the community residents. It is so easy to get connected and involved in this community and stay active into your later years of life. Now let's move to the 55 plus community that has the best value, and that is going to be Sun City Festival. I'm going to get it out of the way right away. There is one downside to Sun City Festival, and that is its location. It is in sort of an extremely remote location in the Phoenix Valley, if you want to call it that. It is on the other side of the White Tank Mountains, west of the city, and it's about 15 minutes from the nearest dining and grocery options. It's its own separate community, really, out at the base of the White Tank Mountains, and it's really the only thing out there. But I will say, residents who live at Sun City Festival are not disappointed. They have 3 clubhouses and there are endless things to do. You have outdoor resort pools, you have indoor lap pools, and pretty much every clubhouse offers views of the White White Tank Mountains. Sun City Festival has 3 9-hole golf courses, which gives you the opportunity to change it up and do a different 18 every single time you play. Sun City Festival offers some amazing prices on their homes because there is so much space out there. They are on bigger lots, they're newer homes, and a lot of these homes offer amazing views of the mountains right from the front porch or the backyard. Yes, it is a little bit out there, but most of my clients have said as soon as they moved in, they forgot about the distance and they are just so entrenched in the community and love it so much that they don't even mind the 15-minute commute back to the nearest part of the city of Phoenix. Now let's move on to my personal favorite and the most luxurious 55+ community in the entire Phoenix Valley, and that is going to be Victory at Verado. I already mentioned the town of Verado early in this video, and the 55+ community that is attached to Verado is just as impressive. Victory at Verado is my favorite 55+ community just because of the setting that it's in. It is backed up into the mountains, the views are incredible, and honestly, the lots in Victory are some of my favorite in the entire valley. Residents can enjoy 36 holes of championship golf at the Verado Golf Club on 2 different sets of 18 holes. There are so many trails and different hiking options up into the White Tank Mountains, and residents of Victory at Verado are able to benefit from the downtown Main Street district and the community of Verado as a whole. So yes, you are able to escape into the 55+ community and have a tight-knit neighborhood, building friendships and a network of peers, but also being able to access all the amenities and the benefits of being in the master planned community of Verado. There are also a few places in Phoenix that are a little bit underrated, but we haven't ruled out yet. These are kind of my honorable mentions or my hidden gems, depending on your priorities that you may not be aware of. The first one is going to be for the families watching this video. Anthem, Arizona is an incredible family-friendly community that is about 35 minutes north of the city of Phoenix. Straight up the I-17, Anthem is an awesome community that is centered around parks and hiking and biking. The public school system in Anthem is rated at an A by niche.com and is one of the top rated communities for families with young kids. The Anthem Community Park is the center of the community and offers so much to do with families with young children. There are splash pads, there are playgrounds, there are big pools, there's a community center, there are huge fields to play on, and there is even a small railroad that takes a train throughout the community park at different hours throughout the day. Anthem is an awesome community that is master planned and feels like a separate neighborhood from the Phoenix Valley, but is just about 10+ miles north of the 101 loop that covers the entire Phoenix Metro. And the second hidden gem that I'm going to talk about could be for our older crowd. It is not necessarily a 55+ community, but the median age in this neighborhood is on the higher end. I am talking about Cave Creek, Arizona. Cave Creek is north of Phoenix and is just west of North Scottsdale. It is up in the mountains and it has a totally different vibe than the rest of the valley. It has a western feel, and in the downtown of Cave Creek almost feels like you're in an old western movie. It is situated in the mountains of North Phoenix and has a ton of amazing views. There's some really good golf up here, and the pace of life up here in Cave Creek is just a little bit slower. This is perfect for some people who are a little bit older in age, want that slower lifestyle, and maybe want a bigger lot for the home that they want to retire in. So as you can see, there is no one size fits all for where you might be looking to move here in the valley in 2025, but hopefully this video gave you a clearer view of where life could take you here in Phoenix. So if you are somebody who is considering a move out here or switching it up like I am, I know it can be overwhelming to figure out what truly fits you and your lifestyle. I am a realtor in the valley and I specialize in helping people find their dream home, not just for the house, but also for the neighborhood and the community of where it's located. I help people in every stage of life find their place here in Phoenix. Once again, if you're interested in my Moving to Phoenix guide, please reach out via email or text or call at any time and I'll send that right over to you.